Okay, let's start with the f-stop. You've seen other videos on this thing. You've seen what the interior pouches and pockets look like. But I'm going to show you again anyway. So, starting with the top, you have a weather-sealed zipper pouch that allows you to have extra space in here for your wallet, an extra phone. There's a key holder for your keys, space for your cell phone, and so on and so forth. There's a zipper pouch here, and then a mesh pouch with a Velcro closure right across the top. So there's room for gear up here. You can get quite a bit of stuff up here. Now the fabric of the backpack prevents it from being super stretchable, but it will stretch a little bit. You can pack, say, your Bose Quiet Comfort QC35 headphones up top and have plenty of room to spare for extra gear, maybe your sunglasses or your eyeglasses or something like that. Then you can unzip the next section, which is not, the zipper isn't weather sealed, but there is a flap that you can flip over the zipper to protect the zipper and keep it from getting drenched in a downpour. And you've got another internal pouch for extra gear. I've got my checkbook, although I rarely write checks, but still, you got your checkbook here, sunglasses, eyeglasses, personal hygiene kit, presentation remote. Now see how much space there is, and this is the large ICU. So there's a lot of room up here. You can get extra clothes up here. You can get a light jacket or a sweater like this one in there. Again, your sunglasses, iPad if you needed to. You can get a lot in here with the large ICU. The extra large ICU literally almost comes up to the top of this. So you can get this closed, but you're not going to get a whole lot of extra gear in there. So if you're going to be using the extra large ICU with the Tilopa, then just know you're not going to have a whole lot of space up top for any extra gear. You got plenty of attachment points on the back side of the backpack and then on the side where you can attach extra gear if you needed to, but if you want to keep it contained inside the pack, if you're using the extra large ICU, just know you're not going to have a lot of room. You'll be able to get it closed, but you're not going to have a lot of room for extra stuff like what I just pulled out of here. It's not going to happen. No way. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me leave this out. So, speaking of the attachment points on the side, it's a really easy place for you to be able to attach your tripod or something else if you're going to use it. But you do have these side pouches, and in here is where I keep my spare clothes while I'm traveling. So there's room enough for you to put a 32-ounce Hydro Flask or something like that, but it's going to stick out on the side, which is one of the only things I don't like about this pack. It doesn't have just an easy pouch that you can just slip a water bottle into and then reach into the back and be able to get it, or reach behind you and be able to get it out so you can get a drink. But the pockets are actually pretty nice. It will expand somewhat if you undo this Velcro, and if you need to get it to expand just a little bit. But other than that, you can get, I don't know, a fairly good size item or a few items in there if you needed to. It does keep it nice and secure though, that's one thing. So if you don't have a side pouch that somebody like a pickpocket can just grab whatever out of, and you maybe wouldn't notice, but you do have that. Speaking of other spaces, in the very back, which is also, it also has a weather sealed zipper, like the very, very top part of the backpack. You've got some space where you can put, I've got some cards in here, where you can put some extra gear. In this case, I've just got my eyeglass cleaner in case in here, but you can get some clothes in there, or a notepad, or some extra office supplies, whatever. You can get that in there easily, no problem. Again, due to the fabric, it doesn't really stretch, but you can stuff a fair amount of stuff in there, especially something like a light sweater like this, or even a small jacket. And then this outer pouch, this is where I keep the rain cover. Now, unfortunately, for a $300+ backpack, the rain cover was not included, but at least the rain cover was only $19. It wasn't terribly expensive, so I just keep it right there. So, easy peasy. You've got all kinds of extra attachment points for mountaineering gear if you're going to be able, because this is a mountain pack. F-Stop classifies this as a mountain pack. So you've got extra attachment points, high and low, for you to attach hiking poles, ski poles, or even skis if you wanted to, snowboard or what have you, snowshoes, whatever. You can get an extra 10 on here, you can get all kinds of extra goodies. And then you've got these extra attachment loop points here on the back, bottom, at the top, and then at the bottom. But, and this is something else that's going to cost you an extra $39, you will need what f-stop calls this accessory kit, which they have in all the matching colors. So in black, aloe, or even the orange. And it gets you extra attachment points, similar to the ones that are going across the back. It gets you an actual padded strap for the handle, because as one reviewer pointed out, this is a pretty thin handle, carry handle here. It can hurt your hand if you're going to be carrying this thing like this for a while. And this is included in this $39 pack. So you get the extra pad here for the carry handle. You get 2 extra, they call them, what is this? What's it called? Tilopa, aloe, whatever, retention straps. And then you get extra zipper flags, tags, or what have you, in case these, for whatever reason, in case any of your zipper tags come off. So for $39 you get that. It's not too bad, it's not terribly expensive, but for a $300+ pack, just one extra thing you have to buy if you think you might need it. So what really makes this pack shine though is its internal system. Now normally most people take this ICU and they fold it over underneath inside, but look at the space. I've got my chargers in here for all of my camera batteries. This is my 85mm, my 24-70, my 16-35. I've got 2 Canon cameras in here, gripped. So that's a 7D Mark II and a 6D Mark II. And then up here is my 70-200mm f2, and this is my 50mm Nifty 50. So all of this easily fits into the large Pro ICU, no problem. And if I reconfigure this in other ways, I can get even more gear in here. I've got plenty of room for my SD card bags or pouches. My filters are in here. I've got my light meter. I mean, just tons of space. Tons of space. Now, some people like to flip this underneath and behind so you can immediately and readily get to your bags, but when I'm traveling, or to your camera gear, but when I'm traveling, in case you ever have to pull this out, if you're going to get on a regional jet and they say your bag's too big and you have to check it, then I keep this, instead of folded underneath and behind for extra padding on the bottom, I leave it zipped up for extra padding on the back side. And more importantly, if they say I ever have to pull it out at an airport, then as I'm standing at the gate, all I literally have to do is just reach in here, pull this out, and now this can go into the seat in front of me, or this will definitely fit in the overhead. Every time I've had to do that, the airliners, once they see what this bag looks like, the airline agents, when they see that this bag pretty much just looks like this, once I pull that out, typically they say, just put it back in there and go ahead. Because they know it'll fit. Even though I'm telling them 100 times over, this will fit, it will fit, it will fit. And they don't want to listen until they see me pull that out, pull out the ICU, and then they see that this bag is pretty much flat. And they want me to actually hand this to you and gate check it. And they just think it's ridiculous as well. So, but that's the beauty of the ICU. It's perfect. So whether you were going to use it inside this bag or put it in something else, all your gear is protected, and it's easy to just pull out and hand carry if you needed to. So that's the f-stop Tilopa ICU. And even if you were going to use this backpack separately on its own for a day hike or a day trip, just pull out the ICU, stuff in whatever else you need, and you've got a water-resistant pack, waterproof if you're using the rain cover, and you can get 50 liters worth of gear in this thing. Oh, I also forgot to mention, you got a nice, it's not heavily padded, but you got a padded area in here where you can easily get a 17-inch laptop. I just have a 13-inch Mac Pro, but a 17-inch laptop will easily fit in here, or paperwork for wherever you're going, just whatever. And one of the other things I absolutely love about this pack is that the frame is removable. You can take the frame out. So if you wanted to be able to totally have this pack fold down somewhat and not be an issue, whether you're traveling on a regional carrier or you just don't want the rigidity of it against your back while you're walking around or hiking around in the wilderness, then you can pull that internal frame out altogether. And that's another thing that'll help you get onto a plane much easier, because it's sticking out. This is what makes it go up to 23 inches when it's standing on its base, is that frame. And if you pull that out, this thing easily collapses down by 3 inches. So, and that's with the ICU inside of it. So if the airlines are looking at the height of it when it's on your back or you're trying to carry it onto a plane, if you just put that frame in your check bag, then it collapses this down by 3 inches down to about here instead of up to here. And it's usually a non-issue, especially if you're traveling overseas. Air France once gave me just holy hell about a backpack, and you know, it ended up fitting in the overhead just like I knew it would, but it just depends on who you're flying with and where you're flying to. So overall, I'm very pleased with this backpack. I'm very pleased with the extra pockets and space for you to be able to put extra gear. I'm very pleased with the ICU. I'm very happy with this backpack. It's well worth the $300+ that I spent on it. And I hope this review helps you as you make your decision on buying an f-stop Tilopa as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon.